Hello there, and welcome to a quick demo / overview of some of the new features and functionality that we added to the brand new Paragon Micro website. I'm going to go over a bunch of different things in very short order. I'm not going to spend too much time on them because I'm also creating videos for each of the respective sections that go into a little bit more detail. So those are going to be, 3 to 5 minutes long, and hopefully they'll give you enough information if you want more. If you don't, then hopefully this brief overview gives you everything that you need. So a lot of the features that we added were the result of customer feedback for the last few years. So we wanted to make sure that we captured that information, which we did, and we wanted to make sure that we delivered that to you in a brand new format. We have the new branding, and hopefully you will appreciate some of the new features that we added. So let's dive right in. I'm going to go to a category page. Let's go to Apple Notebooks and show you some of the new features of the website on these landing pages. And by the way, search results pages look very similar, so you'll see the same functionality there. But we now have a new grid format, which shows 4 across. There's a slightly larger grid format that shows 2 across, but you get twice as many rows. And then we have a list view, which will show each item in its own respective row. So my favorite view is the 4 across, so we'll go to that. I'm going to pick one of these. You'll notice that if you hover over the image, you now have this quick view pop up, and if you click on that, you get exactly that, a quick view showing you product details, some imagery, the ability to modify the quantity, add it directly to your shopping cart. You can also add it to a wish list, or you can add it to an existing quote or a new quote that you are creating. More about those in a separate video. All right, I'm logged in. The first new feature you'll see is a My Team page. If you click on that, you'll see some quick details about your account management team. You'll have all their specs right here and a friendly image to see how beautiful they look in person if you've never seen them before. Moving on down, we have the transaction section. So we built in a search that allows you to search keywords by certain fields. For example, you can search by a purchase order number if you provided one at the time of the order. You can search by an order number, a quote number, an invoice number if you have it, or a manufacturer part number if you remember the part that was on the order but you don't necessarily remember any of the other details. You can drill down and just view quotes if you wanted to. You can drill down and just view orders if you wanted to, as well as invoices. Invoices are broken up into 2 different categories, open and paid in full. If you're up to date on all of your payments, then this open page should be blank. Otherwise, you can click on paid in full and it will take you to a list of all your invoices that have been closed. Product lists is not a new feature, but it is a very improved feature. We've added the ability to manage your product lists a little bit easier. For example, you can come to the product lists page, create a new product list. You can view your existing product lists. You can add the entire list to the cart, or if you want to, if it's an editable list, in other words, a list that hasn't been created by your sales account manager for you, you can edit the list yourself or delete the list as well. So let's take a look at one of these bundles. I'm going to click on popular items. Here it is. I see the 2 products that I have in here. If I wanted to, I can just select all of them and add them all to the cart. I can delete them all if I want to. I can add one individual one to the cart just by moving it that way. I can also edit that item if I want to. We've added the ability to sort. So if you have certain products that you want a higher priority than others, you can certainly set that yourself. And you can also add notes for each item in the list to share with other folks in your organization. Purchase authorization. Another not necessarily new feature, but definitely an improved one. We have the ability now to manage your entire employee list. You can assign different roles. We have an employee role that allows someone to place orders. We have an approver role that allows someone to both place orders and approve orders. And then we have an admin role, which allows you to do all of the above. You can set up purchase rules, and the purchase rules are fairly robust. So let's go into an existing purchase rule here and say, I've given it a name, I've given it an employee, and I've given it a rule type. And just to show you the different rule types, you can say approval always required, approval required when greater than some dollar amount annually is spent, and we do keep track of that. Or you can say daily for any order, monthly, weekly, as such. So what I've done is I've selected here greater than a dollar amount monthly, and in this case, that dollar amount is $1,000. So if this employee were to place an order for more than $1,000, this rule would go into effect. And what would happen is the approver would get an email notification right away saying that there's an order in the queue that needs to be approved before it will be processed by Paragon Micro. The other thing we've added is the ability to have multiple levels of approvers. So for example, if I wanted to say have 2 approvers, okay, I can choose whether or not I want to enforce the order of these approvers. For example, when this order comes in and it's over $1,000 within any given month, it's going to go to the first approver. They're going to have to approve it first, and then it'll get sent to the second approver for their approval, at which point, once they approve it, it will be released into our system for processing. If I uncheck the enforce approval order, that will not happen. What will happen is both approvers will get a notification as soon as the order is placed, and they can approve it in any order. And then all your approvals will appear here on the Approvals tab. Few of the other features are standard, the ability to run reports on your transaction history. You can set a date and tell us what records you want to show, and it will show you all the invoices or orders for that particular time frame. You can go through settings and modify your profile information, email preferences, manage all of your addresses, credit card information. We are a PCI DSS compliant business and system, so we will only ever save the last 4 digits of the card and will only display that as such. Our sales reps do not have access to that information. You can update your password just by clicking update password, or if you happen to have a shipping account number with one of the many shipping couriers, you can input that number and choose your default shipping method, and it will show up in the checkout process as such. You also have the ability to place a support case with us. So a support case is nothing more than a help ticket. It's like a help desk. So if you have any issues, you can go ahead and create a new case. It'll get routed to our IT department as well as your account manager for processing. And we tend to jump on this stuff pretty quickly. Advanced reporting. We have the ability to customize reports and publish it to your website so that you can see, for example, any type of report that has to do with the types of transactions you've managed to do with Paragon Micro. So for example, I've created 2 test reports here, one that shows a specific month and year sales out report. That's all the transactions that have been purchased with us for that month. And you can see we can do that for multiple months. We can do that for the current month so that every time you come to the report, it always shows the current information. These reports are run in real time. They're not reports that are just published and sit out there. So every time you run a report, it's being run at that point in time. And then one of our newer features, we call it reminders, but it also acts as a software licensing / asset tracking renewal system. For example, you can set up some reminders for when certain software subscriptions may expire. So if you want to know when the subscription is going to expire, you can set a renewal date so that you get reminded sometime prior to that actually happening, so you don't forget to renew either your software licenses, your warranties. It really works for anything that you purchase on a semi-periodic basis. All right, let's also take a look at the shopping cart. We have a quick cart that's available up in the top upper right-hand corner, and you can view all the items in your shopping cart. You can click on any individual item to view it. You can also view the cart in its entirety or begin the checkout process. Let's go ahead and view the cart. So you can see we have each item. You have the ability to save items for later, or you can remove them. You can change the quantity. All of this happens in the shopping cart. You also have a quick add. For example, if you happen to know the manufacturer part number of an item you would like to quickly add to your shopping cart, you can do that. Type that in, type in a quantity, click add item, and it will quickly add it to your shopping cart. I hope that overview was useful for you. Like I said, there are additional videos to cover each of these pieces of functionality in more detail. So if you would like to check those out, please do. As always, if you have any questions, please let us know. Please contact your account manager and we will be more than happy to answer them. Thank you.